Hello and welcome to a new episode of Breaking Boundaries. Thank you for joining me. In this episode, I really just want to open up a little bit and tell you about one of the lows on this journey, because I said when I started this channel that I don't just want this to be all the highlights, everything that's going well, because let's face it, I think social media really is us putting the best things out there, but we all know that that's not the reality. No one's life is perfect. No one has everything all together. And so I just wanted to share a few weeks ago how I was going through a really tough time and just talk about that really. Talk about that for anyone who is digital nomad and may relate, but also talk about it more generally, because I think it's really important that we are authentic and we put the truth out there and we say how we're really feeling. So, since I arrived in Lisbon, I have been so on the go, very busy work-wise, and I really hope soon I can share with you what I've actually been up to on my sabbatical. I love my apartment so much, super nice, but it isn't directly in the centre, so I have been travelling into the co-working space, travelling back out, making new friends, exploring new city, and bearing in mind, this isn't the first time that I've been doing this. I'm very used to kind of landing in a new city and bam, bam, bam. But I then got sick. And I was like, okay, I can feel my throat. This doesn't feel good. And then I was completely out of it. Like, it started off just like a cold, and then it got worse, and actually I'm pretty sure it was COVID, because I couldn't taste anything, I couldn't smell anything, I was super tired and fatigued, and I had a lot of the symptoms. So for about 9 days I stayed in my flat, in my apartment, didn't meet anyone, and it was a very tough time physically but also mentally. And I guess one of the downsides of being a digital nomad is that when you get sick, you don't have your home comforts. I couldn't be like, Mom, can you make me a cup of tea? Not that I would have done that when I was living in London, but my family were closer to me, the people around you, and then you're also in a foreign city. And the thing is, I'm someone who I love to just go out there and explore and just make the most of, I suppose, life really. And then when you're ill, you can't do that. And I couldn't go do all the things in Lisbon that I wanted to do. I really wanted to get out. I couldn't do that. Luckily, here in Lisbon, people do speak English very well. So when I went to the pharmacy, that was all fine. But you are navigating another system. This brings me back to Valencia when I fractured my foot there, which really wasn't great. So it's just really, really difficult. But actually, now I think about it, I also think that it was my body telling me to stop. And sometimes getting sick is the way to do that. Like, it forces you to slow down and it forces you to just stop. Because I think I haven't, when I was living in London, I would have evenings or weekends where I didn't do much and kind of stayed in. But since starting this journey, I'm just super out there, and I love it because I love adventure, I love exploring. It's exactly what I wanted to do. But layer that on top of work as well, because I'm not just traveling, it's really important to say. I think my body was like, whoa, let's just slow down a moment. And I think having that time and having those days where I did feel really down, mentally and physically, I think actually was what I needed, because it really helped me gain perspective and work through some things that be honest, I had been struggling with. Now, the first of those is I had been feeling lonely, and I had really been feeling like, why haven't I met my person? Why hasn't this happened? Some of you have said that you want me to do a video on love as a digital nomad. Maybe I will. But anyway, I was feeling really down about that. I was feeling sad about some of the connections that I had made, but then I had to leave, and this lifestyle doesn't really lend itself for finding a partner. So I was feeling down about that. But then during that period of having to slow down, I really was able to just take a lot of perspective and be like, I'm so lucky to have this opportunity to be free and to be able to go and do what I'm doing now. Like, I know that a lot of people will say, I wish I could do that, but I can't. And so really helped me kind of see some of the positives of being free. And also just to realize that my time will come, you know, when that happens, it will happen. I think the second thing that those 9 days really helped me work through while I was ill and I had to stay inside was I'd been feeling a lot of anxiety work-wise. It's a very, very exciting time. As I say, I hope to share more on that soon, but I had been working on a startup, and I had been feeling a little bit anxious about it, and actually that kind of time where I slowed down and I really had to just be kind to myself was a really good time to work through that in my mind and be like, hang on, fall in love with the process itself, fall in love with the journey, fall in love with the learning, fall in love with the growth that is going to come, that is coming through this experience, rather than just focusing on the end destination. And I remember a mentor of mine, who I still speak to now, said that to me right my first year as a graduate. He said, you know, you think about someone climbing a mountain, if all they're focused on is getting to the top of the mountain, they're going to miss all the beautiful scenery and all the interesting, you know, things that come along the way of getting to the top. And so it's a metaphor, but the whole idea is actually, don't be so fixed on the outcome that you forget what you're doing now. And that period of time was really good for me to, I suppose, work through that in my mind and yeah, feel a bit more at peace with it. But yeah, it was a very tough time, and I'm really grateful for my friends and my anchors who have been there for a very long time, who I can still reach out to, even if they are not directly here with me physically. The voice notes I got, the people that I could talk to, just really, really grateful for that. And I think it's just super important. And even the people here in Lisbon as well were just super kind and understanding. So yeah, I think I have some reflections that I wanted to share off the back of this. I've got 5 reflections here, but before I come on to that, I think it's just really important to say that everything, like, I thought that maybe you would have a lifestyle, and when you choose the lifestyle you want, which is kind of what I've done right now, like for me, this is the lifestyle I want. Not forever, it's a chapter of my life. But I used to think that, like, when you choose what you want to do and you do what you want to do, like, everything's going to be great. Like, you're not going to feel down much. Like, you're going to be feeling content and happy most of the time. And that is true. I definitely do feel that. But if you think that you're never going to feel sad or never going to feel down, no matter what path you take in life, it's just not gonna happen. And I think it's really important to share this with people, because I think in many ways, like, being able to work remotely from where you want, explore cities, be free, it is all great, and I still stand by that, but doesn't mean that you don't have difficult times, doesn't mean that you don't get sick and feel down about things, doesn't mean that you don't feel lonely at times, doesn't mean that you don't feel all the emotions that every human feels, regardless of the type of life you choose. So I think that's really important to say. Okay, so my 5 reflections from this last month is, number 1, if you don't slow down, your body will force you to slow down. I did catch a bug, which I think actually was COVID. Pretty sure I didn't have a test equipment here, but pretty sure it was. Like, lost all my sense of taste, everything. But I think it was bigger than that. I think it was also my body being like, you've been doing a lot lately, let's just take a moment. Second thing is that it is okay to not be at 90 miles per hour. And do not rush getting better, because I remember feeling so frustrated, like, sat on my sofa, like, I just want to go out and meet my friends here, I want to go and explore. And I remember a friend of mine here was like, you can't rush your body back to being fine. Like, can you just not push it? So guess what? The world doesn't stop, and work doesn't stop, and life doesn't stop. So just give yourself the time and the permission to not be at 99 miles an hour. Third thing is that having quiet time and alone time and that space can help you work through challenges that you're going through, and I definitely felt that. Fourth aspect is that having friends and people around you to speak to really helps. If you are struggling or you're going through a difficult time, voice note a friend, call a friend, talk to your family, do whatever it is that's gonna help you. Don't just bottle it all up inside. And the fifth thing is that understand no journey is perfect. No lifestyle is perfect. There are going to be good times, and I can tell you there have been a lot of good times, but there are also going to be difficult times too, and give yourself permission. It's so cliche, but it's that classic, it's okay to not be okay sometimes, and give yourself permission for that. And you know, I remember last weekend, after going through all of that, I hosted a little gathering here. I also had my best friend from the UK here, and it was just so nice. It was just so good to be with people, go out again, explore again, dance, and I think it just shows life is full of ups, it's full of downs. Definitely had a tough time, as I say, during that period, but you know, I wanted to share it, and I wanted to say that it's okay if you're going through something difficult. Just give yourself time, space, work through it, don't run away from the emotions, and you'll definitely feel better afterwards. Hope that's been helpful, and I'm looking forward to seeing you here in a next episode. I'm not sure what I'm going to record it on yet, but I will be seeing you here soon. Take care.